my sister's dark secret, almost destroyed our family until I found this hidden letter that changed everything forever. The silence at our dinner table had become deafening. 3 months had passed since Emma stopped coming home for our weekly family dinners, and the empty chair beside me felt like an accusation. Mom pushed food around her plate, occasionally glancing at Dad, who sat rigid with disappointment etched into every line of his face. "She's made her choice," Dad said finally, his voice carrying the weight of finality. "We can't keep pretending everything's normal when she's clearly chosen that lifestyle over her family." I wanted to defend Emma, but how could I? The evidence seemed overwhelming. The late-night phone calls that ended abruptly when anyone entered the room, the mysterious bruises she'd tried to hide with makeup, the gradual withdrawal from family events, replaced by vague excuses and hurried departures. Then came the final blow. Seeing her getting into a car with Marcus Rodriguez, a man everyone in our small town knew had connections to the underground gambling scene. Dad had confronted her that night. The shouting match that followed shattered something fundamental in our family. Emma had stormed out, screaming that we'd never understand, that we were too quick to judge. She hadn't spoken to any of us since. "Maybe we should try calling her again," Mom suggested weakly. But we all knew Emma had blocked our numbers. The breaking point came when Mrs. Henderson from down the street mentioned seeing Emma at the casino 2 towns over, looking troubled and thin. Dad's face had gone ashen, and that night I heard him telling Mom that maybe it was better if Emma stayed away until she got her life together. But I couldn't let go. Emma wasn't just my sister. She was my best friend, my confidant, the person who had taught me to ride a bike and helped me through my worst heartbreaks. The woman they were describing, this supposed gambling addict who'd chosen vice over family, it didn't align with the Emma I knew. That's what led me to her apartment on a gray Thursday evening. I'd been driving past for weeks, hoping to catch a glimpse of her, to understand what had happened to the sister who used to call me every morning just to share her dreams from the night before. The landlord, Mr. Chen, was coming down the stairs as I approached. "You're Emma's brother, right?" he asked, his expression sympathetic. "I hate to tell you this, but she's being evicted tomorrow. Haven't seen her in days, and the rent's 3 months behind." My heart sank. This confirmed everyone's worst fears about Emma's gambling problem, but something nagged at me. Would it be possible to check on her apartment? I'm worried about her. Mr. Chen hesitated, then handed me a key. 20 minutes. I've got to change the locks afterward. Emma's apartment was sparse, almost monastically so. No expensive items that might suggest gambling winnings. No signs of the chaotic lifestyle we'd all imagined. Instead, it felt sad and empty, like someone had been slowly disappearing from their own life. I was about to leave when I noticed something odd about her bookshelf. One book, our old copy of To Kill a Mockingbird that we'd shared in high school, was positioned differently from the others. When I pulled it out, a folded letter fell to the floor. My hands trembled as I recognized Emma's handwriting. "If something happens to me, please make sure Jake reads this." The letter was dated 6 months ago. "Dear Jake, if you're reading this, then my worst fears have probably come true, and our family thinks I've become someone I'm not. I need you to know the truth, even if I can't tell you myself. 3 months ago, I witnessed Marcus Rodriguez and 2 other men beating a teenage boy outside the community center. The boy, his name is David Chen, Mr. Chen's nephew, had seen something he shouldn't have involving their money laundering operation. They were going to kill him. I called the police, but Marcus has connections everywhere. The case was mysteriously dropped, and David's family was too scared to press charges. That's when I realized I was the only witness willing to testify. But Jake, they know who I am now. Marcus approached me 2 weeks after I gave my statement to Detective Morrison. He was friendly, almost casual, but the message was clear. Disappear the case, or my family pays the price. He knew Mom's work schedule. He knew Dad's route to his evening walks. He knew your apartment address, Jake. I couldn't let anything happen to you all, so I've been playing a role. I let Marcus think he's intimidating me into compliance. I show up when he calls. I ride in his car when he demands it. I let people see me at places that make me look complicit. The bruises? Those are real, Punishment for not being convincing enough, reminders of what he's capable of. I've been working with Detective Morrison this entire time, wearing a wire, documenting everything. We're building a case that will put Marcus and his entire operation away. But it's taking time, and I can't risk any of you getting hurt because you tried to save me from a situation you don't understand. I know how this looks from the outside. I know Dad thinks I've become everything he raised me not to be. I know Mom cries herself to sleep wondering where she went wrong. And I know you, Jake, are probably torn between defending me and accepting that maybe I really have changed. The hardest part isn't living this lie. It's watching it destroy our family and not being able to explain. Every dinner I miss, every call I don't return, every time I see disappointment in your eyes, a part of me dies. But every day I keep this up is another day you're all safe. Detective Morrison says we're close to making arrests. The casino visits? I'm documenting money transfers. The mysterious phone calls? I'm recording everything. The late nights? I'm gathering evidence that will put these people away for decades. If something happens to me before this is over, know that I love you all more than anything. Know that every choice I've made has been to protect our family. And know that the Emma you grew up with, the one who taught you that doing the right thing isn't always easy, is still here, even if she's buried under layers of deception. There's evidence hidden in a safety deposit box at First National Bank. Box 247. The combination is your birthday. Give it to Detective Morrison if anything happens to me. I'm sorry I couldn't trust you with this while it was happening. I'm sorry I let you all believe the worst of me. I'm sorry I had to choose between your trust and your safety. But I'm not sorry for protecting you. All my love, Emma P.S. Tell Mom and Dad that every value they instilled in me is what gave me the strength to do this. They didn't fail as parents. They raised someone who would sacrifice everything to keep her family safe. The letter fell from my shaking hands as the full weight of Emma's sacrifice hit me. While we'd been judging her, she'd been saving us. While we'd been pushing her away, she'd been risking everything to protect us. I called Detective Morrison immediately. His voice was tense when he answered. Jake, I've been trying to reach Emma for 2 days. We were supposed to make the arrest this morning, but she missed our check-in. My blood ran cold. I'm at her apartment. She's been evicted. There's no sign of her. Meet me at the station, now. The next few hours were a blur of police activity, SWAT teams, and federal agents. Emma's evidence was extensive enough to bring down not just Marcus's operation, but a network that extended into 3 states. They found Emma bound and gagged in a warehouse across town, alive but badly beaten. Marcus had discovered her true purpose, but not before she'd gathered enough evidence to ensure he'd never hurt anyone again. At the hospital, as Emma recovered from her injuries, our family sat around her bed in stunned silence. Dad held her hand, tears streaming down his face as he whispered apologies. Mom stroked her hair, murmuring about how proud she was. And I sat there, overwhelmed by the realization of how wrong we'd all been. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you, Emma whispered, her voice hoarse. I wanted to so many times. You saved us, Dad said, his voice breaking. You saved all of us, and we abandoned you. Emma squeezed his hand. You didn't abandon me. You loved me enough to let me go when you thought I was making bad choices. That's what parents do. In the weeks that followed, as Marcus Rodriguez and 15 others were sentenced to lengthy prison terms, our family slowly healed. Emma's story became local news, then national news. The young woman who'd sacrificed her family's trust to take down a criminal organization and save a boy's life. But more than the recognition, more than the justice served, what mattered was what we learned about love, trust, and the courage it takes to do the right thing when the cost is everything that matters to you. Emma never spoke bitterly about our rejection during those months. Instead, she used the experience to teach others about the importance of communication, about how love sometimes means making choices that look wrong from the outside, and about how families can survive even the deepest misunderstandings if the foundation of love remains strong. Years later, Emma became a victim's advocate, helping other families navigate situations where truth is complicated and love is tested. She kept that letter, framed in her office, as a reminder that sometimes the greatest act of love is allowing those you care about to think the worst of you in order to keep them safe. Our weekly family dinners resumed, but they were different now, deeper, more honest, filled with gratitude for second chances, and the understanding that love isn't always easy to recognize when it's wrapped in sacrifice. And sometimes when I see Emma across the dinner table, laughing at dad's terrible jokes or helping mom plan her garden, I'm reminded that heroes don't always look like what we expect. Sometimes they look like ordinary people making extraordinary choices, one difficult day at a time, fueled by nothing more than love and the unwavering belief that some things, like family, are worth any sacrifice.